Pompeii didn't die the way most people imagine, not from a slow river of lava you could see coming. It died from something faster and hotter than you could outrun. In one day, a living city became a silent shape under ash, and the strangest part is this: Pompeii is still here, not alive, not gone, frozen in time. Like history hit pause mid-breath. So what really happened, hour by hour, inside Pompeii's last day? Before the sky turned black, Pompeii was ordinary. Markets were loud, bread was warm, coins were cold in the hand, water ran through fountains, and children played in the heat between stone walls. This was a city that felt permanent, built on routine and confidence. Rome ruled the world. Trade moved through the Bay of Naples. Pompeii had shops, villas, bathhouses, and streets worn down by cartwheels. And above it all, Mount Vesuvius sat quietly in the distance, a green mountain under a blue sky, a background detail. Most people didn't know it was a volcano, or if they did, they didn't believe it could change their lives in a single day, because nothing looks dangerous when it's been quiet for generations. Until the ground started answering back. It begins with small things, things easy to ignore. Water trembles, pottery rattles on a shelf, birds lift off from rooftops. As if they heard a warning nobody else could hear, people pause, look around, exchange that nervous half-smile, and then keep moving, because humans are built to normalize danger. If the world doesn't end today, you assume it won't end tomorrow. But on the mountain, a thin line appears. Smoke rising in a straight column, growing taller and darker, and in that moment, Pompeii's normal day becomes something else, something with a countdown. The ash starts falling like snow, soft at first, dusting shoulders, settling into hair, collecting on rooftops. People cover their mouths with cloth, not because they understand what it is, but because their lungs do. Daylight fades, not like sunset, like someone slowly turning down the world. Inside homes, lamps are lit at noon. A city that was bright an hour ago now looks like evening. And here's what ash does to a city. It doesn't just fall, it accumulates. It turns roofs into waves, streets into sand, air into something you have to fight for. Still, many people don't run right away. They hesitate, they gather belongings, they wait for a sign that says, now. The problem is, disasters don't give you clean timing, they punish hesitation, and then the snow becomes stones. Pumice begins to fall, hard, loud, relentless. It hits rooftops like hail made of rock, streets tighten, alleys jam, every exit becomes a funnel, and every funnel becomes a trap. People push carts. They carry bundles, they shout names into the dark, at the gates. Bodies press together so tightly that panic becomes contagious, because now the danger is everywhere, above you, falling, around you, collapsing, and inside you. In every breath you can't fully take, and then the first roofs give up, not from fire, from weight. A city can survive fear, it can't negotiate with gravity. This is where Pompeii stops being a place, and becomes an event. This is the moment most people get wrong. They picture lava, slow, visible, glowing, something you can run from if you leave early enough. But what comes next isn't lava, it's the collapse of the sky itself. The ash column becomes too heavy to hold, it falls, and when it falls, it creates something terrifying, a ground-hugging surge of ash and gas. Superheated, moving fast, like a storm made of fire you can't see. By the time you recognize it, you're already inside it. It doesn't chase you like a monster in a movie, it arrives like the world suddenly turning off. Pompeii dies in minutes. Morning comes to a world without voices. Pompeii doesn't look burned the way you'd expect. It looks erased, smothered, streets disappear under ash, rooflines vanish. The city becomes a smooth, pale landscape with no movement, like nature covered it with a blanket and said, sleep. And then time does what it always does, it moves on. Empires change, generations pass, the people who once lived there become stories, then rumors, then nothing. Pompeii is not rebuilt, not repaired, just sealed, until someone digs down and finds a day that never ended. Centuries later, workers dig into the ground and hit stone, then walls, then streets, and Pompeii returns, not as a living city, but as a snapshot. A fresco appears on a wall. Colors still there, like it was painted yesterday. Cart ruts remain in the road. Doorways open into rooms where someone left in a hurry and never came back. This is why Pompeii becomes unforgettable. It isn't just history, it's evidence. It shows you what people ate, what they sold, how they decorated their homes, and sometimes it shows something more personal. A small cup, a toy, a household object, proof that a real human life existed here, right up until it didn't. Now here's the twist that changes everything. Pompeii wasn't destroyed by lava. Lava is slow, visible. It gives you time to understand what's happening, but Pompeii didn't get that kind of warning. What ended the city moved like a storm, fast, heavy, and impossible to breathe through. Think of the eruption like a giant engine. It blasts ash, rock, and gas upwards so violently that it builds a towering column in the sky. From the ground, it looks like a dark tree growing into the clouds, but inside that column is chaos. Hot gas trying to rise, heavy ash trying to fall, and gravity waiting for its turn. The column can't hold itself forever. It's like tossing flour into the air. Eventually, it gets too heavy to stay suspended, and when that column collapses, the sky doesn't just drop ash, it drops momentum. Gravity grabs the whole structure and pulls it down at once, turning the eruption from something above you into something coming at you. This is the part most people have never seen. The surge. A surge is a dense cloud of ash and superheated gas that hugs the ground. It doesn't float like smoke. It behaves more like an avalanche. Except it's made of hot air and crushed stone. It pours into streets the way water does. It turns corners. It squeezes through gaps. It finds doorways. And the moment it arrives, the air itself becomes the threat. Too hot, too thick, and impossible to breathe like normal. And here's why just run isn't a real option. First, visibility collapses. You can't sprint through a city you can't see. Second, your lungs become your limit, even before the surge. Ash irritates and chokes. People slow down, stop, panic, because breathing becomes work. And third, surges don't arrive like a single wave. They can come in pulses. The city gets hit, then hit again, each time with less air, less light, and less chance. This is why Pompeii feels different from other disasters. It didn't slowly burn down over weeks. It didn't crumble over decades. It was suddenly overwhelmed, covered, sealed, preserved. The city wasn't destroyed into nothingness. It was locked inside its own last afternoon. So if you remember one line from this story, make it this: Pompeii wasn't killed by lava, it was killed by the surge.